I don't want taxpayer dollars being used to propagandize this racist, sexist Marxism on our federal employees. Next up, we've gotten some new documents under the Freedom of Information Act from the Consumer Financial Protection Board, which is another monstrosity of a federal agency that talks about microaggressions, which is really left-wing insanity that's designed to divide us by invoking racism in everyday innocent work and personal interactions. And what I'm going to do is highlight for you the document. Well, I'm going to wait for a second to highlight the document. So we had asked for documents from the agency, essentially about CRT. Give us documents about what that shows CRT related training, critical race theory training, which again, is critical race theory. The left like you to pretend that it's just something that happens in law schools. No, as applied in the government and in HR departments, it presumes everyone who is not a minority is an oppressor, and everyone who is a minority is a victim, and they should all act as if that's the case. And that innocent comments and interactions that have nothing to do with race should be interpreted as part of systematic racism. And it's essentially Marxist in point, in attitude and approach, and seeks to overturn the American system because they think the American system is inherently racist and needs to be remade from the bottom up. And you see that in their analysis of what they call microaggressions, as I said, which are innocent comments that are translated into symbols of racism and oppression or sexism and oppression. And I'm going to call up the document and share it with you. Let's see if I can, give me a second here, share screen. And let me find the document. Here it is. Share. Okay, so this is the document. And it's from the CFPB, you can see. And it talks about, this is, I scroll down to the page, where it talks about microaggressions. Microaggressions, according to the leftists running the CFPB who created this document, again, your tax dollars at work. Let me get this thing here. Verbal and nonverbal behaviors. So nonverbal behaviors can be racist. Communicate negative, hostile, and derogatory messages to people rooted in their marginalized group membership based on gender, race, ethnicity, religion, sexuality, etc. Occur in everyday interactions, can be intentional or unintentional, are often unacknowledged, are often less obvious in nature and more subtle. So you got to realize you're being very subtle here in your racism than outright discriminatory assaults, such as using racial epithets and displaying swastikas. And these can easily turn into unlawful discrimination or harassment. And so, and they talk about stereotypes being the basis of it, and then they have these weird pictures of alleged stereotypes that are thrust upon people of color and marginalized groups. So here you are. This is the victimization of fellow Americans and by other Americans who are their oppressors. This is our government at work. And then they have this crazy cartoon description of what microaggressions are, and they give examples. Where are you from? No, I don't mean New York City. I mean, where are you from? Wow, you speak good English. What are you? You're so interesting looking. Well, that translates according to the message that's received. You are not American. Your ethnic racial identity makes you exotic. You don't belong here. You're a perpetual foreigner in your own country. You have a doctorate. So the assumption is, according to the left, if you ask things like that, people of color are not as intelligent as white people. Of course, they capitalize white, which is racist. interrupting a person of color in a meeting. Here's what I think. So that's racist to say, to quote, interrupt someone who is of the wrong race or marginalized group is potentially racism. Also racist is everyone can succeed in society if they work hard enough. So the work ethic is racist. They also think it's racist to say there is only one race, the human race. When it comes to race, I'm colorblind. So when you say that you're colorblind and that you treat people equally, you're being racist. And that you're, quote, expected to assimilate to the dominant culture, and that you're denying a person's race and ethnic experience, denying the individual as a racial cultural being. So if you're against racism, you're racism. I am not a racist. I have several Black friends. Well, that's racist. Don't blame me. I never owned slaves. That's racist. All lives matter. That's racist. As a woman, I know what you go through as a racial minority. I guess a woman is in a marginalized group. Ignoring systemic racism, such as police interactions. That's what you're saying when you say all lives matter. I am immune from race to racism because I have friends of color. I mean, this is just crazy talk. Don't you agree? Asking someone, why are they so quiet? Don't you have any thoughts to share? Why you have to be so loud? Just calm down. Why do you always have to talk about your culture at work? Well, first of all, who says that anyway? And why do you have to be so loud? I mean, that's racist to say, why are you being so loud? Or why are you being so quiet? Obviously, that's not racist, but that's what they say. So I can go on, so forth and so on with this. Calling 911 when you see someone, a Black man, again, capitalized, which is racist, selling cigarettes outside my building. So seeing someone engaged in illegal activity, calling the police on criminal activity is racist. This is your tax dollars at work. These juvenile looking the consequences of microaggression: anxiety, depression, sleep difficulties, diminished confidence, helplessness, loss of drive, weight loss. I mean, it sounds like COVID. Damage to professional relationships, lack of concentration at work, looking for other jobs. I tell you what, when you traumatize individuals, I'm going to shut this down because this is driving me crazy here. So you can see that document. You can get the full document on our internet site at judicialwatch.org. But I don't know about you. I don't want taxpayer dollars being used to propagandize this racist, sexist Marxism on our federal employees. The CFPB is a major government agency that regulates, frankly, in an over-the-top way. It's an Obama-era created agency. Consumer loans, and I'm not a fan of the deep state, but civil servants shouldn't be abused with this racist claptrap that is divisive, that treats certain individuals as inherently racist because of the color of their skin, and others as inherently victimized because of the color of their skin. I want to treat people as human beings, not as cogs in the left wing. It's like it's so demeaning to everyone involved. And we're concerned about the rising communism abroad. Well, what about the communism here at home? This is all, again, repackaged Marxism. It's in our schools, it's in our military, it's in our corporations, and it's in our federal agencies like this. And Judicial Watch is front and center in exposing this, suing to get access to the information, getting information from whistleblowers. I mean, it's bad enough this sort of garbage is being given to adults. This is similar to what children are being forced to learn in too many schools across the country, happening in our military too. And of course, we're defending with civil rights lawsuits those who were targeted and abused and fired by school districts for opposing this type of thing. So we're not only exposing it, but we're defending those being victimized by this crazed Marxist agenda that brooks no opposition.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.